Hi, and welcome to the second episode of The Loud Reset. I am Adrian, and tonight you're meeting my husband, Rich. I'm excited for tonight because you get to meet my favorite person. But I just have to tell you the technical difficulties we just went through with this setup because I'm still learning and I probably fried his eardrums by shocking him somehow with the static electricity in our basement. So good times, but we're on track. We're on track. I have a couple notes, but we're going to get to know Rich tonight. I know all the answers to all these questions, but I'm real curious to see what he says and just how he presents himself because in my eyes, he's amazing. So this should be fun. But I did prepare some notes just so I can make sure I get it all out. So just my little intro on why you guys are meeting Rich tonight. So, of course, he's my husband, but I just wanted to tell the world and you, of course, that anyone who meets you instantly adores you. You have such a warm, calming, and likable presence that people tend to gravitate to you. I honestly don't know anyone that has ever not liked you. You are a true family man, very loyal, and would give someone the shirt off your back to help them. You are honest and hardworking, and you make me laugh all the time. You're so smart, level headed, and quick witted. You keep me grounded and support me in every way I could ever need. I can never thank you enough, but I love you always. So, Rich, we're going to take it way back. We're going to really get to know Rich today because I think you're fascinating. I love everything about you, except when you can't find things or remember things. So, we have that. So, let's just talk about the beginning. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in the big city of Mansfield, Ohio.
Okay.
Madison, born and raised, still live in Madison, so ventured out quite a bit.
Okay. Okay. So born actually a couple streets over from where we live now, which I love because that means Nana is very close to us, which is a blessing. What was your elementary childhood like? What were you like as a kid?
Elementary was fun. That's probably the most fun I had in school. Recess a couple times, gym class. No stress. Just played sports. No technology really, so Nintendo, and just spent as much time outside as possible.
That 80s generational children, which we're both 80s babies. We have the best life there ever was. Early 90s, 80s was amazing. No technology is clutch. How did you do in school? Were you a good kid? Did you behave?
Depends.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. So I was good. I did pretty good grade wise. Kind of a class clown a little bit. Always in trouble. Especially in elementary school. So my mom's a teacher or was a teacher. So parent teacher conferences were always super fun. But did good grades overall, I would say.
Okay. What about junior high, middle school? It's always an awkward stage for everyone. I hated middle school, honestly. It was really hard for me. Y'all get through it, we get through it, but it's not fun. So what were you like in middle school?
Same. Nothing too crazy. Didn't really like middle school too much. Um,
What type of activities did you do when you were in middle school? That's when you really start to like find your own and do activities. What did you enjoy in middle school? What did you do?
was in band. Was
Yes.
band
Yes,
nerd.
we met in band. We met in marching band and band and I will never forget it ever ever. So yes, band nerds, band nerds.
Um, some sports I didn't play much in junior high. Um, Played my Nintendo, hung out with some friends. That was about it. Nothing too crazy.
All right, in high school, we met in high school. What was high school like for you? What did you do? You were pretty active.
Um, Played tennis. Was in band, jazz band. Um,
What instrument did you play?
Trumpet and band. The jazz band played trumpet and guitar.
Which he still plays guitar now,
Not
not as often as he's like,
not that much.
and he's a lot better than he leads on. I love listening to him play, but it's just finding the time. So trumpet, guitar, jazz band, marching band, tennis. Academically, how did you do?
Decent on that. A's and B's, C's in there, depending on the class. If I like the class, I did okay. But
Yeah, something I always
here we go.
despised about not just this type of person, but Rich especially that can do this. can fall asleep in all his math classes and ace all his tests because I had to struggle to even get C's, D's maybe in math and would try so hard and it just doesn't come naturally to me. So when he can just like pretend like it doesn't exist and then ace all the tests, drives me crazy. But we would always meet up in the hallway because I think he had like algebra or something,
Geometry, eighth grade.
geometry, eighth period. So I'd wait for him and he's coming out. And he'd come out every day with a giant red circle on his forehead from sleeping with his head on the desk. And he would still ace all the tests. So poo poo on you for that. Okay, so you graduated high school and you went to college. What'd you do in college? Where'd you go?
Went out to the branch. Just did general classes, NC State. Had zero idea what I wanted to do, so wasn't super loving college. Just kind of going with the flow. The electoral classes are pretty stupid. Classical architecture, just dumb shit. Just it's a money grab.
Okay.
So started working and
So you started working when you were in college or in high school?
uh, high school a little bit.
Tell us about your
Oh,
jobs. What were some of your early jobs?
I had a once upon a child working at
Baby clothing store,
my dad's
used baby
baby
clothing store.
clothing store.
But we're not going to hate on Once Upon a Child or Secondhand because first off, that's where I shop always, and it's a great company. It really
No, it
is.
was good. It worked with my extracurricular schedule. Obviously, being family, I got some flexibility with that. But
Yeah, his dad used to own a franchise, so that's where he worked
yep,
there.
right out of high school, wash cars. So
Lot boy.
professional car washer,
What was the name of that company?
Pro Car Auto Group.
Pro Car Auto Group. And this place was on Ashland Road. And funny story about it now, it's a crematorium. The building
No,
has a giant parking lot because it used to be full of cars every day. And now there's no one ever in the parking lot. And they installed a giant chimney or ventilation system, obviously. And it's a crematorium. So it's strange. You drive by and you're like, if you know, like smoke is coming out of the stack, like they burn in bodies. So it's just fascinating how things can go from one business to another. So I remember Lot Boy days for sure. Some of the repo stories were so funny. You guys would have to put tape or pictures on the wall so they couldn't see in the garage. Tell me a little bit about that.
look, it was a buy here, pay here lot. So
Mansfield's finest, buying cars.
it was the local area's finest.
Yes.
Most people everybody got approved. Um, so they would call in, see if they could get a car. Usually everybody would qualify, maybe just one car, and then the fun part was they would send the lot boy to go pick up the people if they didn't have a ride there, because you would go pick them up, and then you'd have awkward conversation, bring them in, and then
And
they
now, mind you, he's like a teenager in high school. Like this is what they're having teenagers in high school go do. So continue.
so yeah, no, that was fun. They'd come in and do that. Being a buy or pay here lot, they uh, repoed some cars. So typically they would have somebody repo it and they would bring it to the lot. Sometimes that wasn't always the most popular with who lost the car, but they would send somebody from their main location to usually a car hauler. But there were times where people would be coming to try to find their cars. We'd have to like tape up the window
Yeah.
so they couldn't see in. But
That's not sketchy at all.
no, no. But we did get a lot of. We had a 5 gallon bucket. We cleaned all the change out of cars,
Yeah.
tools, random golf clubs.
And didn't the guy that kind of worked there that you were really friendly
Yeah,
with, didn't he
Dusty.
DJ our, no, didn't he DJ our
Yeah,
wedding?
the guy that
Yeah.
ran at DJ at our wedding, good
Yeah.
buddy in high school, Dusty Schuett, worked there.
Yeah.
He had a little incident with a customer's car, I believe, so he wasn't allowed to drive cars. So I had to go do
Yeah.
all the sketchy driving.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's a good job.
Okay, so those are some early jobs. Before we continue on into jobs, let's talk a little bit about your growing up family dynamic. You don't have to get into the details of everything, but what was it like growing up for you? What's your family dynamic like?
I was pretty good. Tight family. My parents divorced when I was one or two. So that was a little different than a lot, but close with both parents, both sides of the family. We were pretty tight.
Only child. Richard is an only child,
only child,
and I'm the youngest of five. So the dynamics are very
a
different,
little
very
different.
different what we're used to and how we were brought up and, just all family dynamics.
Yeah.
So, but I married into an incredible family. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are the most amazing people. My grandparents that I attained through marriage, none of them are with us anymore, but they're amazing people as well. So super blessed to be part of this family. Okay, so lot boy, baby store. Where else did you work in high school and growing up?
Out of high school, worked at Circuit City.
Oh, RIP.
RIP Circuit City. That was fun. Slinging some CDs, cordless phones, gaming systems.
Yeah, back then, let's see, what was it? What gaming system was popular when you worked there?
Easy there. PS2 just came out.
Ooh,
Uh,
okay. Just for so we get context, I turned 40 last year. He will be 43 next month.
Easy.
43. I met him when he was like 17, I think. I don't know. Circuit City. So,
Seven
PlayStation 2.
7.25 an hour.
It literally almost made me choke.
Busting it down. So there, and then left Circuit City for the greener pastures of Best Buy.
Yeah.
390. Take no prisoners.
Oh, God, PTSD.
Uh, that was, I think I got a quarter or 50-cent raise from that, and slung some computers, TVs.
A lot of people think we met at Best Buy because we both worked there for a short period of time. I stayed on for 12 years. I didn't learn my lesson, apparently. He left after a couple. But we did not meet there. We met in high school. We'd been
No,
dating for a few years before we both started
I
there.
got that referral bonus.
He did get the referral bonus. They used to be really awesome. Okay, so Circuit City, and then where?
That's
Because
fun.
you haven't had a ton. Yeah, that's what I meant. You haven't had a ton of jobs in your life, which is great. Circuit City to Best Buy.
Then Barnes and Noble,
Barnes& and Noble, yes. Rich was a manager at Barnes& and Noble here in town for quite a while.
6 years, I think.
Yeah, and I think, other than shitty pay, awful retail hours, creepy people that are consumers there, it was a great job.
It was fun. The people were awesome. There was some great people I worked with.
Yeah,
There were some really good regular customers, but believe it or not, Barnes and Noble, they attract
yeah.
some interesting people. So we had names for most of them.
I remember a lot of the really disgusting stories, that they would tell me. Um, like saturated, Playboy magazines in the men's stalls, the comfy chairs that you would see in Barnes and Noble. I believe they got rid of them company
I
wide.
believe so. If there's ever a comfy chair, do
Like
not,
the big oversized
don't
stuffed
sit in it.
cushion chairs. Don't sit in those. They're covered in probably feces and urine. So yeah, don't sit in those. If you see like a hard surface that they can sanitize, I think you're good. Barnes and Noble's a good company. Gosh, not hating on it, but
No, it was
he
good.
loves books, so it was a perfect place for him, and you did meet some really incredible
No, there's
people
some
there.
awesome people. So
Even some of the regulars, you actually became friends with them that you just talked to one the other day, you guys communicated. Was Otto, right? Or did he work
Otto,
there?
he worked there,
Yeah.
and then Phil was a regular. He works
Yeah.
there now. So
Yeah.
a lot of really good people.
Lots of really great people. Okay. And then from Barnes& and Noble,
Too.
the Big Red Machine, and that does bring us presents. So tell me where'd you go after Barnes& and Noble?
Went to Verizon to sling some phones
Yeah.
after.
So
They had,
what year are we talking at this
that would
point?
have been
Layla was born.
2010, 2010, I think. I left to, they had good tuition assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured I'd finish up my bachelor's. So went there for that. Then realized slinging some cell phones could make some money.
Yeah.
So did that for a little bit, and then just started moving up the chain.
Okay. So present day, that puts you with Verizon for how many years now?
15, coming up on
15
15.
years. Yes. Our daughter is just freshly 16. So just kind of put things into perspective of like life cycle because when I timeline things, it is pre Layla or after Layla. That's just kind of how my brain works. So that's kind of where we're at. Okay. You started at Verizon, just full time sales associate, and your journey obviously continued with some advancement. So what did that look like?
Um, as assistant store manager in Mansfield. Got promoted to, oh no, acting in Mansfield. Went to Ashland as assistant manager. Was a store manager in Mount Vernon, Ashland, and then Worcester. And then decided to leave the retail dream. got in the business side, so I was a
Hallelujah.
small to medium business manager. That would have been like 2019. So supported small businesses, had a sales team. Basically had west side of Cleveland down to New Philly. Did that through COVID. Then became a senior account manager. Just do individual contributor for a little bit. Take a break from leadership.
So individual contributor just means he's a sales guy, not
Yep.
a leader of people, which he has been for several years. So
Yep. So moved to mid market, so bigger customers, sales guy. In the Columbus market, had downtown Columbus, and then became associate director uh, back up north. So I've had different territories. So
hmm
little map challenge now. So have Polaris to Mansfield, down to West Virginia, Youngstown. But I have a really good team, amazing people. So
yeah, he really does. He has such a journey. When you're I mean, no one may be like this. I don't know. We're like this. We share a lot of stories about our workday with each other and talk through things and lean on each other for advice and what would you do in this situation and how do I deal with this? Because I was a people manager for a very long time. And as soon as I got out of it, I said, never again will I do that because that's just not a strength of mine. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't give me passion where he thrives in that environment. He's so externally likable instantly, so people just love him. They love working for him. They want to go where he is and be where he is. But when he transitioned into the business side, it was like life changing for us because I had been out of retail for a few years at that point. So I was in the 8 to 5 space, the Monday through Friday, which when we had both worked retail hours, in early stages in our relationship and Layla's very early stages, it was very difficult. We had an amazing support system of family that, allowed us to stay out of childcare, but you never see each other. Like it's your shifts are completely opposite. It's awful. So when we finally merged and we were both on Monday through Friday 8 to 5, completely changed the dynamic of our relationship for sure. We were able to actually have a life and do things on a whim and not have to plan things 2 weeks in advance or anything like that. So I think that's just been incredible for just overall life dynamics. No hate to retail. I learned a shit ton. I think we both did. You learn a ton of stuff in retail, but it's a gruel. It's a grind. So glad we're out of that. So right now you are an associate director in mid-market accounts, which what does that mean for people that don't know Verizon?
so basically, any business, 10 employees up to 350 employees. So we have an outside sales team. Um, so each of my employees have a territory, a set territory, and they're responsible for all the existing accounts and to find new prospects, grow the business, use their relationships, referrals, and just grow the business with that. So I help clear hurdles for them and help them be successful. And then, I try to um, help them where I can and work with some of the big accounts, big opportunities
Yeah.
they
I
find.
mean, he's great at what he does. He really is. He's been so incredibly successful. He doesn't fail at anything he's ever tried. And people want him to work for them. He's been asked to go a lot of places and take a lot of positions because of how well he does. Um, he's just kind of known as the guy that can kind of fix the problems and get things back on track. And employee morale is so important to him. I've never seen anyone truly care so much about his employees, no matter who they are. He treats them like humans, which you don't see that often in this type of environment sometimes. And the retail space, especially Verizon, they're a Fortune what five,
Uh,
10,
30.
Fortune third. They're huge. Verizon is huge. Like it's not just cell phones. Like people don't. It's a big company, so sometimes that can get lost in the shuffle. But the values never waver, and I think that's why he has continued to be so successful because there's never been a question of ethics or selling with integrity or treating employees badly. His all of his surveys are just through the roof on how employees feel about him. So makes me proud to call him my husband, but um I know that they're getting a good experience when they work with him. So I'm going to go back to my notes for my next couple questions
Yeah.
too.
And real quick on that, I've had at each stage awesome people, so
Yes.
that makes things easier. But some of my best experience actually came from working for some horrible leaders.
Oh
sadly.
yeah, you learn a lot from the worst.
So, you see what they do, feel miserable with that. And then, some of the best leaders, coaches in my life have made that difference on that. So I always said if I got into leadership that I wasn't going to be that guy.
No, and honestly, you learn a lot of what you won't do from a lot of people. And I have to cough because I have a tickle, so just bear with me.
Jesus, criminy.
Look, this is real life. Like I said, it's gonna be
Hey,
ugly. Like yeah, you're just gonna have this.
I'm
Okay,
like, hearing a cough again, you got to turn my microphone down.
yeah.
You're killing me.
So, what do you find most rewarding about your current position right now? Aside from the paycheck, of course. What aspects of it do you enjoy the most?
Um, you know, for me, it's seeing my team have success. So, yeah, I'd like to get paid. I'd like to have success, but for me, it's seeing each person accomplish what they want to do, be successful, help clear hurdles. So that's what makes me excited. I try to put my personal um, goals to the side and really work for my people. And that's gratifying if I see someone that struggles and all of a sudden it clicks and they have success. I've seen people, some good performers that took it to the next level. Um, and I think for me, there's some that they want to be good at their job, and that's awesome. I help them do that, and then I've had all the way back to retail. I've had a lot of people get promoted, and that to me is gratifying. Yes, losing a good person is always difficult, but I would take that all day. If I had all five of my people get promoted and had no team and had to hire new people, I would be good with that because it's super cool seeing someone work for something and then get promoted on that.
Yeah.
So for me, I think just seeing them accomplish their goals is it.
Yeah. And I've met so many people that he's worked with over the years, and they really are. There's some really great people that he's been able to manage and, form relationships with, and I can agree with that part. It's definitely very rewarding. What do you hate about your job? And I know, like, look, I know know the answers to a lot of this, but
Look, I've never bitched. There's no hate.
yeah.
Um, uh,
What do you hate?
there's so working for a large company, obviously your benefits, your
Hold
pay.
on. Disclaimer, in case Verizon happens to see this, don't get fired.
Oh, I love it.
All opinions are our own. They are not owned by Verizon.
They're it. No, it's you work for a big company, so it's not Rich's Wireless. So
Yeah.
I sometimes you see things or decisions or something that you don't like, and you just have to know what battles to fight, and sometimes you just have to weather the storm a little bit. So
Oh,
um,
and he has. You don't stay 15 years somewhere without seeing some shit and weathering some
yeah,
storms.
and you're gonna have up and downs anywhere you work. You own your own company, you're gonna have ups and downs. So they've been good. They've been good overall. I don't have complaints. It's been a great company. They provided a lot for us,
Yeah.
the family. Um,
Lots
you
of
know,
great benefits.
but anything that takes me away from frontline stuff. So if I can't be in the field with my people, helping my people, being in front of customers, that kind of stuff. So any kind of internal call, those can sometimes get a little tedious. If you have a training that's just, love my training department, but sometimes there's tech differences or there's just things where you want to be out in the field and there's things that take you out of that. So there's politics. A big company, you're just and I think it's whether they like to hear it or not. If I left tomorrow and hit the lottery, they'll be like, man, it sucks for sucks for a couple days, and then a week from now they won't even know who I am.
How
But
soon can we post the job?
they'll have the job posted and somebody else in, and
And we can't be mad at that.
no,
No, you
no.
cannot be mad at that. And you have to expect that out of any employer. Absolutely.
But I think one of the things that I've been able to do is try to clear out some of that BS, and then I just look at it from that standpoint. I tend to be a little bullheaded, so
No.
uh, easy there. But no, I pick my fights. So if I feel strongly on something, I'll fight that. And I've been lucky. The boss I work for now, I've been off and on with for 15 years.
Yeah.
He gives me a lot of freedom with that, and he lets me run my business. And it's a performance-based company. Hit your numbers, they let you do your thing, and don't, then you get held accountable to that. So,
True story.
but I don't know if I have a hate on it, but
Yeah.
some of the internal politics sometimes.
So, all things aside, money aside, time, infinite everything, if you could snap your fingers tomorrow and have a dream job, did I just blow your ears out?
No, no, no. I just this one I needed to.
Okay. Dream job. Money isn't nothing. None of that matters. Just absolute dream job. What would you do? And you would love it and it wouldn't be stressful.
So the dream job on a side piece, I would have been the defensive coordinator
Oh
for the
my God.
Lions a week ago. They gave up. They had the worst game of the freaking year. Home field advantage. The Lions have been a disappointment my entire life, as have the Browns. Chance to go to the Super Bowl and they ruined it.
Hold
So,
on. My mom made us these pillows. Here we got the Cleveland Browns, who suck massively. And then we have the Detroit Lions. So that's this house.
but all taking that out, dream job, general manager of Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
That's I applied for the GM spot of the Lions a long, long time ago, as a joke, but I've
I
always
don't even think you got like an
no, God,
automatic
no,
like
no,
decline. It
no.
was
It
just
was
like no.
I sent the team. Look, they're so bad. I offered to work for cost of living, and could do no worse. But I'd be
You
the
know what?
GM.
He's not kidding. Like he actually applies for these kind of things.
So, but no, GM of the Tigers. I think that'd be fun to do.
Or pumping gas at Swifty.
Look,
I feel like for as long as I've known this man, he has talked about pumping gas at Swifty and
they
wearing a
had the
change
change
belt.
belts that were
It's the
legit,
change belt.
and I wasn't qualified back in high school to work there. So,
No.
it's been a scar for my entire life.
Uh yeah.
Yeah,
I think you need to get over that.
we'll see.
Okay. So dream job. So when you aren't slaving away for the big red machine, what takes up your free time besides me?
Obviously, family.
Hmm.
Free time depends on the season. So when it's warm, being outdoors, golf. If I could golf every day, um,
Yes, golf.
I would golf every single day. I like to fish. I don't fish as much as I used to, so that's this year I'm gonna get back onto the fishing train a little bit.
Mhm.
Martial arts, music. I love listening to music, so any chance I can listen to music. Vinyl's a big thing,
Yes,
uh,
records are all over the house. They're everywhere. They're
so
taking over.
so COVID got me a little bit back on that. But vinyl is, if you're listening to music, vinyl is the best sound. So it allows you just to sit in. Each album, a vinyl album has a whole presentation with that. So getting to listen to that, see that. So
Yeah. Yeah, golf's a big part of our life. Rich golfed for a very long time all through high school. I golfed a little bit when we first got married, and then when we had Layla, didn't golf for a very long time. And recently got back into it the last couple years. We've really enjoyed it. He does a men's league. I do a women's league at the local golf course, and then we do a couples
uh,
league. Um,
I love travel out, vacation.
oh yeah, we
So
love to travel.
travel any chance. So we're trying to see slowly all the states, but we don't really pick. We're going to see a designated state. We just go to places.
Yeah.
Some we've repeated. So
Hmm.
Tahoe is one.
We love Lake Tahoe. We love to cruise. We
Yep,
love that. We're getting
cruises.
ready to go on a cruise now for my work, which is awesome.
Yep, yep.
And on this one, we're actually going to golf in Jamaica, and I'm very, very excited for that. So
I'm
that's going to be a
excited.
good
I'm
time.
excited for the run.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time.
So
It's going to be a good time. Okay, hobbies. Oh, yeah. Whiskey. Hello. Or I'm not even sure what you're drinking, but he's
drinking
a collector.
scotch.
He's a
Johnny
collector.
Walker Blue tonight, but
Okay.
whiskey, scotch.
He enjoys fine wines. We go to Napa Valley with his father-in-law. We've been
with
twice now.
with my
With my father-in-law, his
goodness.
dad. We've been twice now. It's beautiful, but some wine club members. I don't drink at all, so he enjoys the spirits. But we have quite a collection. He likes to collect the bottles and try a lot of different things, and just kind of keeps it interesting. But likes to sip on whiskey every now and then and unwind. And I'm a flower child, so I do that. Is how I
Yeah,
unwind.
I signed a Dare pledge in fifth grade, so
Yeah,
I don't support the flower.
I know he's lying. He smokes mine all the time. All right, so I want to talk about martial arts because a lot of people that meet Rich are very surprised by this, but I'm going to kind of dote on him for a minute. Um, He is a second degree black belt in one form of art, and newly, just today, he earned his other second degree in a different form of martial arts. And I'll let him kind of talk about that a little bit, but it takes so much hard work, time, physical energy, mental fortitude to stay invested in something like this for as long as he have, and it's really changed, I think, a lot about his life and how he does things, and I'm super proud of him for that. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your martial arts journey?
Yeah. So it started. I've been obsessed with it most of my life. So as a kid, I would buy. This is super cool here.
No judgment. This is a safe space.
Safe place there. You could get the martial arts magazines. So I would get those, and they would have the moves in there, and I would being an only
Judy
child.
chop.
Yeah, being an only child, there's you'd make up imagination. So was obsessed with it from an early age. At that point in time, there wasn't a lot of places to take it, and with other sports and stuff I played, that wasn't really a thing. So just always kind of any kind of martial arts movie was obsessed with. Never really got into it too much with that. Fast forward, a good buddy of mine most of my life, Grant. He's trained off and on for a long time. Was in my ear for quite a while to give it a shot, get in it. So I figured it'd be good stress relief. I do have a stressful job sometimes, so
Mhm.
needed an outlet on that. So probably 10 or so years ago, maybe a little longer. He got me to come to a class with him, and then just got addicted to it, I guess.
And I
So
am
it's
going to ask you to talk a little bit closer to the mic,
all
just
right,
as we're
all
learning
right,
here.
all right.
So
I'll
if
just
that cut out, I apologize. I'm going
there
to
we
make him
go,
get closer.
there we go. I'm getting all close to this thing.
Shut up.
So no, I start going, and then it was a good outlet. So for me, actually, the physical side is there, but it was good for my mental being. So going in, it allowed me to shut my brain off, and just kind of be obsessive about that. So the main art that I train in is ninjutsu. Um, it's a classic Japanese art, so classical weapons. And then the other art is Black Panther combat kung fu. And then obviously dabbled some other stuff. So been able to travel around a little bit and train. For me, anybody that trains, I don't care the art. I just want to continue to learn. But I am blessed to train with some really great people. But no, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's oh, I'm wearing the hoodie. But yeah, local dojo here in town. The owners are great. You are going to meet them at some point because I love their story and what they do. But you know, he can do a dive roll like right now on the floor, like flawlessly. Like it's funny when you see how it's not funny. I don't know why I say it like that, but traditionally you look at a guy Rich's size, tall, big, bulky, you wouldn't think he's as agile and as athletic, freakishly strong, but having someone who has four black belts on, in their repertoire, I feel safe with him completely. When we're out and about, my brain kind of shuts off because I know I can be on autopilot with him, which is nice. Something else with martial arts too is our daughter did get into it for several years. She got all the way up blue belt.
Red belt.
She was a red belt, so she's on a break from it right now, which is fine. You know how kids' journeys change, but it taught her a lot of things and really helped her with self confidence. And she knows a lot about how to protect herself. So I'm super thankful for that martial arts has come into our life. But it has been such a big thing for him mentally and physically, and it's such a community there. Like every you guys are like a family at this point because you've been around so long, and they're all kind of on their journey together but separately, and it's really kind of beautiful. It's all ages from, they have kids there all the way up. Alvin, how old is Alvin?
63.
Yeah, 63, close to retirement, black belt, great guy. So just a really cool organization, and I love what it has done for him completely. Okay. So where do you see yourself in 5 years, 5, 10 years? What do you see for yourself goal wise?
Obviously, Layla will be graduating, so
In two?
just easy. Come on now,
She'll graduate in two
just still
years?
little, but
Two and a
no.
half, two and a half.
Really just continuing to work, trying to be better about just paying off debt. We'd like to
Hmm.
be debt free, so 5 years in a perfect world, debt free.
Yes, we've been working very hard, very hard. That's yes, it's 5 years or less, and we're gonna do it. By God, we're gonna do it.
So working towards that. Yeah, we could be more disciplined, but at the same time, you gotta have fun.
We
But
do.
we're
We like to do things.
making progress on that.
Yeah,
So, being debt free, and then obviously, whatever her journey is, helping her, whether she wants to move to Japan, college, whatever, being able to financially help support her, get her on her feet,
yeah.
is a big thing. Um, Obviously, career wise, continuing to,
Closer to the microphone.
gosh dang it, continuing to work on a career. I don't know what I want to do. I was at one point wanting to rapidly move up, and then priorities have shifted a little bit. So I'm not sure what the future brings career wise, but continuing to do that. But no, travel is a big one as
Yeah,
well.
we do. We love to travel. We love to travel. If you had an entire weekend to yourself and could do whatever you wanted, what would you do?
Is this like just me?
Just you,
Just me?
just Rich.
Yeah, good question. I would probably weekend of myself, find a cabin somewhere in the woods, with a lake, and just chill, listen to some music, drink some bourbon, maybe smoke some cigars.
Read
Either
some
that,
books.
read some books. Either that or just get a boat and go float around for the weekend, and just kind of hang out. But more than likely, just a cabin, just kind of decompress would be my ideal solo weekend.
Yeah. There's one thing he can do really well that I can't do, and it's especially like when we go on cruises, he gets really good about it. He can completely disconnect. Like he can turn everything off and be okay with that where I'm like, my eyes start to twitch if my phone is off and not because I'm obsessed with it, but I just am worried about something happening and not being able to get the information, whether my family or whatever that may be. But I'm not saying he can't, it doesn't worry, but he's better at shutting down and turning off. So I love that. Okay. So, what personal goal are you working towards right now?
Uh, right now it's fitness based, so just trying to get back in shape. I've been making some pretty good progress, so
Yes, he has. He's been working very hard.
yeah. So some of it's just handling stress better. So previously would eat late. Food is a good um, decompressor from stress standpoint. Um, Drinking a little bit, nothing too crazy on that for those out there, but nothing nothing too crazy on the physical side outside of the martial arts, but working towards the fitness right now. So just trying to get back in shape. I already feel better, but I think that's the main thing I'm working towards now is using exercise, strength training is more of a outlet than just sitting around being a loaf.
Yeah, I love it. He is he's working very hard and I'm super proud of the progress he's made and he's just going to continue to skyrocket. So, I'm excited.
I'm not trying to get traded in over here.
You, boy, I've kept you around this long. You
I get
ain't going
traded in on a
anywhere.
younger model.
Ain't going around. Ain't going anywhere. Okay, so we're going to shift a little bit to some relationship questions.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit about us. So, we've been together since 99, which is a long time. We're no strangers to disagreements or arguments, and we've had our fair share of ups and downs, but the way I look at it is 1,000 times over, I would do it again. He's the first person I want to call and talk to no matter what's happening, whether it be something good, something bad, something scary. He's my person, and I think we both kind of feel that way about each other. Um, we really are best friends. We enjoy each other's company. We love to do things together, but we're also okay in the silence. Like we're fine just sitting together, doing nothing or playing a video game and I'm doing my thing or we work so well together, but then we also give each other space to be ourselves. We allow each other to have our hobbies. He does so much and there's so much he's left out of, sports and softball and bowling and just all these extracurriculars that he likes to do. and he gives me space to do the things I want to do and be our own independent person. I think that's why we do work so well together. And we are polar fucking opposites. So I'm a hard, crazy control freak type A, and he's the opposite. So he's a go with the flow. He kind of keeps me chill, but I have enough of that, organization and push to not let the wheels fall off everything. You can't have two of the same. It would just be chaos. Nothing would ever get done. So, all right. So, what are some of your favorite memories of our relationship thus far that you can think of?
So many good
I
ones.
know, so
Gosh,
many,
Gordon
so
bonus
many.
points. Birth of Layla would
Of
probably
course.
be top there. Getting married
Mhm.
is up there, but I think the travels.
Yeah,
We've been to some cool places, seen some cool things, but we've been able to make anything work. I mean, heck, we
yeah.
vacationed at Lake Erie, beautiful Lake Erie, crystal clear, but super relaxing. So I mean, we can make anything work with that. But I think the travel and we're concert buffs.
Oh, yes. We love a love music, love
So
live music, love my music.
so that's we've been to some really good concerts, seen some great stuff with that. So I think that those are some of the big ones.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to have a podcast just talking about some of the shows we've seen over time. And I will save the spreadsheet for that show, but we have made a spreadsheet of the concerts and musicians and artists we've seen because we literally were like, we have to have seen hundreds by this point of all the concerts we've gone to, all the festivals and everything. So it's some fascinating information. I think you'll all be surprised to hear kind of some of our tops with our music choices. I think a lot of people are surprised by that, but we love live music, small venues, big venues, it doesn't matter. That's where you'll find us. We really, really enjoy. That's definitely our vibe. Okay. What's something that I do? Now I get to answer this question also. What's something that I do that drives you nuts? And be honest, because I know the answers. I know them. I just want to hear it from your
So
mouth.
there's nothing. I mean, flawless, flawless.
Yes.
Um, she's very set. So once something's in her brain, it has to get done in that
I'm a dog
exact
with a bone.
moment. So I may just want to decompress or drink my coffee, and I know that if she asks for something to be done, that it has to be done in that half a second,
Yeah, it's
or
bad.
else.
I know. And I do want to, I try to work on that because I'm like, if I can't have it done right this second, my mind's going to explode when it
But
doesn't.
also giving feedback sometimes, like for those that golf in the Forest Hills Couple League, we golf in a couples league. It's fun. Trying to help her with putting. Um,
Yeah.
so it's a lose lose sometimes. Don't help me with my line. Help me with the line.
Yeah.
So it's all good. It's all good.
You never know what you're going to get on me getting feedback. Sometimes I take it very well, and other times I want to throat punch. So you'll have that.
Yeah.
So that's fair. I agree
Okay.
with that.
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We don't have
What
enough time. There'll be a separate episode.
for all no. Um what drives me nuts? You can't find anything ever no matter what. It could be literally sitting in front of his face and he can't find it. And I know that this is common for a lot of men, but oh my god. Also, this trait he has passed on to our daughter. Inherently, she can't fucking find anything either. So I have to find everything for everyone all the time when it's in front of their faces. So, would you agree?
Yeah,
Seeing it now in your child that's
I do. You move stuff sometimes, so it's not
yeah,
where I put
that's
it.
what I do. I like to hide things. Everything has a place. Don't put it away or no, don't put it down. Put it away. I tell that to Layla all the time. Okay, what do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Okay, skipping out of the relationship topics, we're going to talk about just like life advice. What's some really good advice that you've been given over the year that just kind of sticks with you? Like, do you have like a catchphrase advice? I have a couple that stick in my head, but what's some advice that you've been given over the years that just has kind of stuck with you?
I mean, I think the best thing for me is control the controllables.
He tells me that all the time, all the
Um,
time.
so if it's not something you can directly control, don't let it consume you.
Yeah.
So I got that advice. I used to same boss I work for now. He had me. I was frustrated. This is years ago. List everything I was frustrated about. I made this list of all my grievances. For you Seinfeld fans, the
Yes.
Festivus.
Oh, we will definitely have episodes dedicated to just Seinfeld, so stay tuned for that.
But I aired all my grievances, and then he drew a circle and had me put inside the circle which things I could directly control, which there was maybe one thing. So the moral of the story was I was consuming myself with stuff I couldn't directly control, and it was causing challenges. So
Yeah,
I try to stick to that. It's helped personally, professionally. So
yeah. And he does. He tells me that a lot because I am a control freak, so I feel like everything has to be under my control, and I would say I've gotten really much better at it over the last couple years. I've really been working on myself, and that's a hard one. That is a hard one. For me, it's jump and the net will appear. Always have faith in yourself and know that you're always going to have your own back and just go after it and do it. Okay. So, my last question I have for you before we wrap up for the night is what is one thing that you're looking forward to within the next year between us?
good question. Probably we're I think finalizing it, but we're probably gonna do an Alaskan cruise
Yes.
this year. So
Yes.
we're gonna take Layla.
Yep.
That's been on the list for a long period of time of seeing Alaska. So that bang for your buck, 7 days of you get to pretty much see a ton of it. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to that and just continue travels, figuring
Yeah.
out where we want to go.
I got to agree with that. We do a lot of cruises and just love them. And Layla has been on one with us as a family, and it was, she's not a beach girl. She doesn't like the tropics, and that's okay. So doesn't really like to go on them, but she's all for an Alaskan. So wildlife, huge fan, love all that, super excited. So
I want to see a grizzly bear.
yes, absolutely. Well, that concludes our time today, sir. So I thank you so much for joining me on the Loud Reset. Thank you for coming on. You'll be on many more, I'm sure. We'll have all kinds of topics we want to talk about. But that wraps it up. So thank you for coming and have a great night. Thank you. Bye bye.